In February, the students of Quebec launched a strike against the proposal by Premier Jean Charest to nearly double tuition. 3 months later, in the face of growing opposition, the government passed Bill 78, which effectively outlaws mass protests. Since then, tens of thousands of people have marched on the 22nd of every month in defiance of the law.
Many students have been fighting the government for over 5 months and even more, because the government is trying to get us to pay 75% more the school every year. So every year we're going to have to pay 75% more to go to school, to go to university and college every 22nd of the month. So today we're the 22nd of July. So there's a large gathering of not only students but teachers and professors and other people, grandparents, who just walk on the streets with the students.
I'm just a worker, you know, but I work very hard. I'm not even a student, but I joined them in most of the strikes, most of the protests. I've been there 23 times. I've been almost arrested once.
The problem at base doesn't affect me, but it goes with my friends that are going to university. I went out to the cascade and I saw all my neighbors just showing together that we're saying no. It affects everybody, every personal liberty. I don't know. It's something that was in the debate in the 900s and the 19th century, and now we don't have that.
Bill 78 is when I got right on board in terms of supporting them, and I'm happy that everybody came out on the street, young and old, of every kind of economical background, of every kind of educational background.
It's 82% one shot. It's really hard for students to make it already as it is. I've seen cops drag a girl, like a 20-year-old girl, on 2 meters by the arms. Three cops kicking a girl like this on the floor. I tried to help out, you know, but then they pushed me with their big sticks. Make the people aware of what's going on everywhere, you know. That's not just in a city, not just in a province, in the world.
Spanish people who are facing really austerity, highly severe austerity measures, and we wanted to be solidarity with this cause. That we have the University of New York, which is agreeing with us, and some of the students actually they took the red square, like this one here, and everybody should be able to go to school and to have a good job, decent job.
The student organization that has expressed the strongest opposition to the government's plan is CLASS, which has effectively taken leadership of the movement. Following the passage of Bill 78, CLASS appealed to the unions to call for a social strike involving protests at workplaces. But despite broad working class support for the student strike, the unions have completely rejected the proposal.
The workers' union, actually, they just dropped the ball. I mean, and is it surprising? No. Probably not. I'm an optimistic person, so I kind of still believed that they would take the relay, because we can do all of this on our own, like the students. It's got to be. So we really believed. I really believed in the social strike and the Centrale Syndicale, the big workers' union here in Quebec, just going through, but they just didn't. And actually, letters have been published recently, where the FTQ, which is one of the big union here, blamed Canadian unions for having given money to the class. So I'm just totally disillusioned with disillusioned. I don't believe in it anymore. I think it would have been so necessary, because we're supporting this movement for anti-neoliberalism, and it's a class war, and we can't support the whole 99% by ourselves. The people at top of the workers' union, they're just protecting themselves, and they missed it.
We have the PQ and other parties. We're not really convinced that these political parties are going to help us. I think the people should rise up and decide of their fate, and they should take the street again and again, over and over.
After being rejected by the trade unions, CLASS and the other student groups have called for a vote against the Liberals at the polls, a move that implies support for the Parti Québécois, or its would-be electoral ally, Québec Solidaire. The PQ, which favors Quebec's secession, is itself responsible for the deepest spending cuts in the province's history.
Main goal is to vote because in Quebec we have a very, very low rate of voting person, so we have to go vote.
The Socialist Equality Party intervened in the demonstration, calling for students not to vote for the Quebec nationalist parties and to fight to mobilize workers across Canada through a break with the trade unions and on a socialist program.
Au Parti québécois, au Parti libéral, même Québec solidaire, qui sont des partis qui défendent d'une façon ou d'une autre le capitalisme, les sections de la bourgeoisie.
With only weeks left before the resumption of classes, the government is preparing a police crackdown, while the unions and class seek to keep mass opposition within the framework of the political establishment. The outcome of the strike hangs in the balance.